Tell you what, the banter started before the podcast has even began here, ladies and gentlemen. But welcome back to another episode of the Unlaced podcast. First off, just to talk about the Jason Marley episode. One of the greatest amateur boxers in Australian history. He's also now turned pro, 3-0. Got a crazy story of almost going to Olympics but not getting there, so he's got a big chip on his shoulder. Was Devin Haney's main sparring partner before the Cambosis fight, so go back and check that one out if you haven't. If you're new here, please give us a like and subscribe. If you come back again, we love you. Now, I've been chasing these boys for a while. One of the men was a bit down in the dumps with an injury, but we finally got him on. But, mate, really happy to have Scott Galloway and Marco Tilio on the show. Welcome, boys.
It's good to be here, man, finally.
Yeah, some old friends, new faces.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Hey, what's been going on? You've had a pretty big few weeks, man. I was just saying before, like, it feels like you've almost played a season before the A-League started.
Yeah, long pre-season, then going away with national team and pre-season camp with the team. It's been pretty hectic.
How many years have you been in the A-League now? 3, 4? Because you played young in the Champions League in Sydney, but
Yeah, so that was about 4 years ago. So I think 3 years.
so you're used to the long pre-seasons now?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, well, like the vet over here.
Man, he's nearly got more titles than seasons he's played.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Do you know actually what I was looking at? Because obviously I do my research here, ladies and gents, as we know. But I was looking at his young Socceroos record. Bro, this guy was like Erling Haaland for the young Socceroos. Like 13 games, 12 goals.
Yeah, I lost it from there. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to
I was
see
like,
that.
bro, what the fuck? I've got like 18 and 4, and I was like, I thought that was good. He's 30 fucking more goals per game.
It was against like Cambodia or something.
Yeah,
though,
probably. Timor Leste.
Nah, I don't remember.
Oh, fuck, man. Well, how you been, Scotty? How's the body and mind, man, after the big preseason?
Yeah, good, man. Coming back, like lengthy injury, like rupturing the ligaments in my ankle and that. But, it's looking positive, looking a couple weeks ahead. So,
Have you ever been injured in a preseason before?
oh man, plenty of times.
Oh, you
Way too
have?
many times, yeah.
I feel like you're.
Yeah.
I thought you were like a fitness king. I call Jason Gary like the guy who's never injured. He's injured now, but
Yeah. No. Fitness is never an issue, but like just always like those like little niggles, man. Like did my calf 1 year, just came back a bit too strong, man. Yeah, hit the weights a bit in the off season. Yeah. Bro, I came back like 5 kilos like heavier, but I was like walking through doors like Arnie.
Jesus.
Yeah.
When, this last season or this year?
It was like 2 years ago, yeah.
2 years ago.
So that was like a bit of a downer. And then last year I had a hammy towards the end of the season. Sort of like put me up for Asia and stuff. But yeah, it's like touch wood if I can keep it just like that one a year.
Yeah, man.
This would be my one.
You continue to amaze me because you played in the league for so long, yet you still have this baby face. And I'm like, it feels like he's a fresh player every year. And I'm like, bro, this guy I was speaking to Jason Gary the other day. We're talking about like 2012. And he's like mentioning your
my
name.
first
And I'm
year.
like, bro, what? It's 10 years ago.
Yeah, bro, that's I think my 10th year.
Yeah, but it has to be. Yeah,
'cause
2022.
that was my first season. Like, then.
How old were you then?
How long ago? 10 years ago.
10 years.
It's been my 10th year.
You've been 11.
You're fucking old, man.
Yeah. Tills would have been 11, bro.
Yeah, only 11.
Yeah, I started 17. I'm 27.
And you've still probably scored more goals than him. No, I'm just...
But I just got bangers, man. That's
Yeah,
it.
you do, actually.
I
You
keep
do.
going
Left foot too.
with that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
the one that's injured now, though, so I don't know how that will be.
Oh, God, that's going to be... Well, I want to talk about this season because there's so much expectation on you guys. Obviously, you won the championship a couple of years ago, but like the team on paper, everyone just looks at and it's like, fuck, like what a team, and it's always a scary opposition. But internally, like what is the expectation for you guys coming into the season? Tills, I'll go with you first.
I'm obviously, at our club, we have high standards. So, if you look at our roster, we have quite a few good players. So, we're looking, I guess, to go back-to-back with the grand finals. Well, not back-to-back anymore, actually. But get back in the grand final and win the Premiership again. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how we go. It's been a long pre-season, so we just can't wait to get started.
Yeah, I bet. What about you, Scotty?
Yeah, man. It's just the stature of the club. Like they just obviously, Man City being our owners, we want to be the Man City of the league. Like, we've done three grand finals on the trot now, 4 in 3 years, including the cup. But the downfalls are only 1-1. So we want to keep that going while improving it. Win the premiers again, go 3 times in a row, and then that will set us up for Asia again next season because there's no Asia this year.
Yeah. Just want to go back to last season because you guys had a stellar season, and obviously Western, I felt like they had a pretty good season too, the whole home and away. Like they were the benchmark, they were coming first. But finals is always a bit tricky. Like you never know, it's sort of the team on the day and so forth, particularly with what you saw with Victory. They had like 16 unbeaten games and then one bad game in the second leg and they lost. But for you boys, what was that like sort of going all the way, even though you'd won it and you had the momentum with the team and the squad from the year before to not get that one? Did that hurt?
I guess, man, that's just finals football. Like it's just different. You have an off day, that's it cost you. Like they had a different format last year where it was like a 2-legged semi-final. So
why did
home
they
and
do
away.
that? Is that weird? Was that good for you guys as players?
I think it's just like a bit of like just like adding a bit more money, a bit more theatre and that to the league. Like
I don't think it's like we came first and we were playing our away semi-final.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, so as because I said even like for victory's sake, when like they won the first leg 1-0, and then the second leg cost them. Yeah. So it's like if you didn't have that format, you'd probably be in the final.
Yeah, exactly, man. So it was a different one to like take because obviously A-League men's never had that. So
yeah,
but then obviously we just didn't turn up to our best on the grand final day.
Yeah.
Western got it. And, then now that just sort of boils under the skin now, and you use it for this year.
I didn't even think of that. It's probably probably one of the worst things that could happen to the league. You guys losing that because you're only going to get stronger, and now you've got like more fire in your belly to play for. Because if you had one back to back, you might be like, we're good, like we're invincible.
Nah, they kind of drive it at this. they kind of drive it at this club, man.
Maybe that's why I'm sitting over here and not playing pro anymore. That's my brain.
Nah, PK kind of drives it, man. Like. That's it. Once it's done, celebrate it, leave it, we go again, sort of thing. Like, and it's always been like that, even during the season. Like, even the year we did win it, and we smacked victory in the derbies, 6-0, 7-0, and he didn't even celebrate. Like, he was like, "It's a win. Doesn't matter if it's 1-0, 6-0.
Damn.
We're all celebrating. It's gone big, but he was like, it goes in the end. It means nothing if you don't win the league. Like,
what's he like as a coach? Because he obviously had success pretty instantly when he came in as a head coach. He picked up a great squad, and I think Mombarts was the coach before.
Yeah.
Obviously, some of the foundations were kind of laid through him. Particularly, Jamie spoke really highly of him. But what's he like? I guess from a sort of a tactical sense, and then also I find in his role it's one of the hardest because you've got a lot of top players, particularly in the forward aspect, and like to manage them all the game time and make sure everyone's happy is like a manager. It's not easy.
Yeah, it's tough for him especially. But yeah, he's such a tough guy to, I guess, impress almost. He's always about performance and stuff like that. So he's always judging us. So like he's going back to 7-0 victories. He didn't care that we won 7-0. He just looked back at the video and wanted to see how the performance was. Really? You think it'd be a 5-star performance winning 7-0 or 6-0, but it was nothing like that. There's always things to improve on, and that's why I think that's where we are today because of him. And he's been immense ever since he's come into the club. And had quite good success.
Yeah, how does he? Because you guys are I think they're the only team, maybe Central Coast now, if they both play in the World Cup and stuff. But like the only team that has like a Socceroo front line, essentially. How does he like go about mixing all you guys in? Because obviously prior to this season, there was like everyone was floating around. Lex wasn't. I don't think Lex was there, but now he's here. You got Jamie yourself. Before you had Kolakowski, like all these players, top players. When he leaves one out, is he like communicating that, or is it, how do you guys kind of deal with that stuff, or is it just like his way and that's it?
Yeah,
you take that one off.
It's pretty much like that. Yeah, it's pretty much his way, his decision. End of the day, like you only do so much as a player. You can perform in training and stuff like that. At the end of the day, like I think the pedigree of our front three with Andy, Macca, and Lex, it's pretty hard to go by. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And like, obviously, I try to push myself to get in front of these players, but it's obviously very difficult. And that's when it comes back to just me getting an opportunity to play. I'm just happy to be out there, and obviously every day I try to push them to get out of their position. But yeah, it's hard.
Well, I love watching you play. By the way, I like your type. I like Scott's type of player too. I do appreciate the failed centre back or failed midfielder, but as a full back. But no, I do, man. I really like watching you play, and I've spoken to some people who reckon like you're one of the best talents in the country and so forth. But if you were like your own coach, where would you say your best position is? Because you're always kind of floating as a 10, left, right, sometimes even as like a sole striker, and I'm like, man, like where for you is your best position, do you think?
I'd probably say I was a winger. It just depends, I guess, in the style of player that I'm in, what team we're playing for. So like for the national team, I recently played as a winger, but I was like, able to come inside. And then with PK, we're so set to a structure that wing's probably my best position. But at the same time, I play wherever asked. So
yeah, fair enough, man. Scotty, I want to talk to you just about like the facilities. I don't know why you're laughing at me. I'm a funny guy.
I know what's coming up.
No, there's a lot, mate. There's a lot. But no, I want to talk to you about like we've spoken about like the quality of team on paper because it is ridiculous. Yeah. But can you take me like, because I don't think people appreciate what's been brewing behind the Man City group and Melbourne City and the facilities that you guys have access to or are building, particularly out in Casey now. But like you've experienced being in different parts of the league where you've seen it's not always like that. So how good is that as a player? Like what is it about
it's
it that's so special?
you can see they got the funding to put into it as well, and obviously they care enough to do it. At the moment, it's kind of like a bit up and down because obviously they're building the facility at the moment, and COVID kind of delayed everything. But you see the images of it, what it's got to look like, it'll be unbelievable. But like even where we were before in Bundoora, it's quality, state of the art. Like had everything you could want there. Whereas like some other clubs I've played at, it's still good, but it's when you see the comparisons, it's a big difference.
It just looks unbelievable. Like literally has everything there, like in the one place.
They got everything, even like the amount of staff that we have. Like you got someone for everything. You got someone that's going to teach you how to sprint and run better. You got someone that's going to teach you with your strength. Someone that's going to teach you something else. Like just the knowledge they've brought in is just obviously for the benefit of the players, man. And it's just, you can just sit there and nitpick people. Like
really,
yeah.
Well, even for your, like, as an injury, like a rehab process now, what would that be like? Like, it'd be so detailed and thorough, I imagine. Like,
yeah, they're straight on the top. Well, like at the moment, like it's been going that well that I'll be coming back 3-4 weeks before, and that's down to like looking after myself, and then down to them as well. Putting the time and effort in and doing the right things, and giving you the right feedback. Like it's they make sure that you come back in good nick as well when you've been injured here. Like it's not just like you come back in and you have another reset. It's like like we get you right.
Do you find it harder? I always used to say, like when I was injured, I always found it harder, like maybe it was a little bit lazy at times, but I always found it harder, like you actually have to work harder when you're injured.
Nah, injury's been shit, man.
Yeah, it's the worst thing.
You work harder.
Because even when you're at home sitting on the couch, you're still like mentally on like icing or elevating. Like you don't switch off.
You got to work harder. You work sometimes longer because it's like, depending on your injury, you might not be able to run. So it's like, all right, I'll throw you on the bike. I'll throw you in the pool, throw you on the assault bike, battle ropes, stuff like that. And it's just like, and they don't care if you're sore. Like that's the thing. Like when I first did it, I couldn't do much on my legs, so it's like I'm smashing upper body, and it's like, well, if your upper body's sore, you're a footballer. Who really cares? Yeah. So it's like keep going.
Correct.
But it's all for the benefits of keeping you fit. Like
because you got to come back at the same pace as what everyone's been training, which I always find is really hard to do.
Yeah,
it's impossible to.
Yeah, and they sort of drip you into training like a little bit. Like they'll give you a little bit. You do the passing, then you come out, and then the next day might be 2 drills, and then you come out. So it's like they sort of feed you in really well. They don't just throw you in the deep end. It's like like I said, they don't want a reset of the injury or something.
Yeah. I want to go back to the championship winning season, which was the season before last, because I feel like it's not spoken about enough because you guys had a great season in general, but I kind of, like most people, and I was one of them, like put a line through you for the final series when I thought like Macca, Curtis, and I think Connor Metcalf like weren't available. And obviously guys like you, yourself, Kolakowski, Atkinson, like all these guys that potentially were coming in or not necessarily starting them players all the time because Curtis, Jamie and Connor were like the spine of the team at times. But you guys went and won that, like just took that like by the scruff of the neck, and I was like, holy fuck, man. Like the young guys are unbelievable.
Yeah, I think this is, the boys had the opportunity to play then. Like, Nate fought back from a really bad hammy injury to get back and play. Like in his first game back was the semi-final and then into the final. So again, like that's credit to him coming back in the club. But then, the boys that, might not have started as many games because, like say Colo with Macca in front of him and that, you get the opportunity to shine. You can sort of take that little bit of, the responsibility on yourself. And the boys everyone thrived on it, man. Like, and everyone knew you can't make excuses of these boys missing. We either win it without them or we lose without them. Like, they're not going to be here. So, and I think that just showed the depth in our team, like, in the quality that we have. Whereas, if these boys are missing, you've got other boys that can come in and play. Whereas if they might be somewhere else, they could be starting. You look at Colin now; he's gone to Perth. He'll go start at Perth. Whereas, here it's hard to break in front of 4 Socceroos players.
Man, that's the hardest front. Yeah, he's a Socceroo, and sometimes he's still sitting on the bench. I'm like, and then you come on, change the game. Like, why didn't you start? But from like the players' point of view, did you guys already know that some of those players that weren't starting because of those players, or obviously I think all the players that made impacts in that grand final were playing throughout the season anyway. But did you guys know that they could just like come straight in and do that job and help win the championship? Because I think from the outside, no one really gave some of those boys credit.
Yeah, I think it was just, man, our motto was just like us against everyone. And I think the main one we had was like anyone, anywhere, anytime, because we kind of just got thrown all over the place because of COVID, and that was like prime at the moment. Like we had a home semi-final, we had to go play it away.
Yeah.
That's
just tough,
it's bullshit. But like, we had to do it, and we went, all right, you know what? They're throwing everything against us. You can either bitch and moan or use it. Yeah. And we definitely used it.
How actually, Tils, how was that for you? Like, even last season, there still was games being blocked and missed because of various COVID reasons or weather concerns and stuff. Like, was that frustrating, like, as a player? Because it's almost like you don't know if you can trust the calendar at times, particularly last season anyway.
Yeah, I think so. Like that first year we're talking about, like that first 10 weeks, I think it was, of the season, I didn't actually play a minute.
Oh,
so
wow.
like coming into the back end of the season where everything was so compact, games getting rescheduled, the team, because they give time for the team for players to come back, say from injury, or players more time to recover. So you're not knowing if you're in the starting 11 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then going on to last year, we're playing every 3-4 days. So then it's sort of, you need the whole squad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So everyone is getting an opportunity. So like sort of changed in both years. And like this year should be week to week basis. So it should be a lot better.
Yeah, you'd think so. I think it will be fine this year. But I want to talk about for you, obviously, Marco, pretty special already having, quite a handful of Socceroos caps and the honour of getting called up at so young. Like, I mean, not too many 21-year-olds get to play for their country and be in contention to go to a World Cup. So I just want to talk about the first time you got that call and what that felt like, and I guess what that whole experience was like.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy, to be honest. Like I think I got that phone call when I woke up one morning on day off, and Arnie had called me and said, "You're going to come into the camp for the Socceroos." And I'm like, I hadn't heard anything about it. I just knew I was on the extended list, which was a big shock to me as it was. And then calling me and saying I was going to the squad, it was massive. Like, obviously going into it, like all these players, Matty Ryan, like all these guys been around for so long. At first, you're sort of intimidated by them because of their pedigree and who they are. And then as you get to know like the people around the camp, like they're actually genuinely good guys. You know what I mean? So it made me feel more comfortable than what I was. And then I got my opportunity to make my debut against Vietnam here in Melbourne, Amy Park.
That's right.
I got my chance there. Could have scored, but missed.
Should have scored. He had all the boys in the stand as well watching him.
Still wakes you up at night, does it?
Yeah, the boys came down and watched me. But yeah, I could have scored that game. And yeah, from there, I guess I've just been working to try to continue to stay in that squad, because once you're in there, you sort of don't want to get lost, you know what I mean? And I think that happens a lot in Australian football in general. So,
yeah, agreed.
So I hope, continue, and especially this next window of the World Cup is massive coming up.
Absolutely, man. I'm absolutely pumped for you. Now, just going, because similar to what you said about like us against everyone kind of vibe, I reckon like a lot of people saying with the Socceroos, like they're not going to qualify, or, everyone's saying, oh, this is one of the lesser squads we've had in years and so forth. And then literally one of the hardest runs we've ever had to a World Cup we had and overcame. Like, for me, when from the outside, and you just mentioned like good people and like the camaraderie and stuff. And I remember we had Milos Degenek on the podcast a few weeks ago, and he was just like everyone's like a family and that sort of vibe. Can you like tell us what that was like, sort of leading into that period and beyond, like just the feeling and elation of getting that qualification?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was unbelievable. I didn't actually play in that camp, but just to be there, and you just felt a part of it. And that's, I think, what pushed us forward to qualify for the World Cup. Like from that first camp I went into when we played Vietnam, we won at home at Amy Park, and then we went off to verse Oman, I think it was.
That's right.
And we lost that game 1-0 when we were expected to pretty much win that game. And then we come into the change room and like all hell's loose. Like everyone's fuming, you know what I mean? Not happy because at the end of the day we'd qualify for a World Cup. So already in the dumps as it is, the country's not behind us, and at the end of the day we only had each other. So then going into that camp, we just knew that it's like do or die games. So we went in with that mentality, and I guess we got through. The team got through. I was just there and just felt good to be involved and a part of it. Yeah,
absolutely. Can you just start for this for me? It's like, is there anyone when you first went into camp that was just like this guy's unreal? Like someone that you might not think of? Because usually when you play with players, you watch them on TV, like you can see their talents, but some people in training are just like different. You're like, fuck, this guy is top quality. Is there anyone that's like caught your eye like that?
There's a few, to be honest. Like, like the Aramoy, unbelievable.
Is he
crazy.
Really?
Yeah, he's unbelievable. He's like a get out ball. Like as a young player,
it's hospital pass to him.
He just hit it and he'll still deal with it. You know what I mean? Like we were told that from a couple of players. Like
really,
if you like get into the game and you don't have anything and you need to find the pass, like give it to him. And it's crazy what he can do with the ball. He looks like sometimes in slow motion, but he's always under control. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hrustic, unbelievable.
Is he? Yeah, because a lot of people are kind of putting our hopes on him as well. Because obviously, I mean, everyone who wears a number 10 shirt or plays that position kind of cops it, but. he looks like a difference maker, like from set pieces or general play.
Yeah, he's got a wicked left foot. Top guy as well. So, yeah, he's unbelievable. Then you got Matty Ryan in goals, who's absolute cat. Like the way he bounces around in training and some of the saves he pulls off, you're just like, yeah, wow.
Did you ever play with Matty in any camps for young Socceroos? Do you know one of the things that amazed me about him, and this is like when we were 19, was how good his feet are?
Yeah.
Like left and right foot, like the spin, the height, like he means it as well. Yeah. And I'm like, what the it's the first time I've ever saw a goalkeeper with like better feet than the outfield players at times. Like when it came to like just ball distribution and stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's mental, man. He's one of the other, and for you, Scotty, because I reckon you would have played against this guy, and it's kind of hot on the press at that moment. I kind of feel sorry for him because he's so young, but Garang Kuol, like, have you played against him? For CCM?
No, I think I actually missed him. Like,
because he's 17, he literally tore up Barcelona in that All-Star game at times, and then getting caught up to the Socceroos, and I'm like, it's a lot of pressure on a young kid. But how, like, he seems like it's very similar to Awa and Bill. What Awa was like just like in a different world, didn't really feel pressure and stuff, didn't really concern him. What was he sort of like in camp?
He was unreal. Like, it looks the same. Like the way he goes about his business and stuff. He's just so chilled, and like he feels like that. He just doesn't get nervous or anything like that, and just takes the game on as it is. And he showed a bit of quality in training and stuff like that. So like all the best to him at the start of the season. He'll be in contention for the squad for sure.
Well, no doubt Scotty will leave studs on him early in the season once he gets back. Speaking, because obviously let's talk about the World Cup being in Qatar, because like we've played in the Middle East many of times with Australia and the national teams, and obviously yourself, Tills, would have as well. But it's a fucking hot place, man.
That's hot.
With Middle East, like it's hard to play, bro. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. It's like stinking heat.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous there. So, well, I'm pretty sure like you played the
we actually went
qualifying
to the
game
stadium.
there.
We trained in the stadium that our group games are going to be played at when we went for the qualifiers.
Are they air conditioned and stuff like you said? Does it make a difference?
Proper aircon. Like it feels like, you know, when you're at home and you leave the aircon on, it's freezing.
Oh, was it like that on the ground?
Yeah, it's actual proper cold.
Roof closed and stuff?
Yeah, everything. So it's like, it's pretty cool what they've done with the stadiums. And even where we play the qualifiers, the heat, you can't get in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like roof's closed. The aircon's huge. It's just blaring in there. It's massive, but
money's no issue for them.
Yeah, money's no issue.
Fork that out.
Oh, before we move back onto A-League, just probably the last question on this, Tills, is just like, what's sort of the advice Arnie gives you sort of when you leave the last game against New Zealand, and obviously now this sort of gap between picking that 26-man squad or whatever for the World Cup? Did he sort of leave any words with you, or has he just kind of left it at that?
And just pretty much said the general stuff of go back, work hard, and you obviously got to be the fittest you've ever been, because this is a massive opportunity for you. I said it to the group, not just to me, and you take it back to your club, and you know what you're playing for now for these next 4 or 5 weeks, I think it is. So there's going to be, I'm sure the A-League for the next 4 or 5 weeks is going to be almost chaos.
Yeah, it's going to be high quality. When are you back? What have you got a date?
Round two.
Round two. So you're not going to
I was meant to miss the whole start of the season.
Yeah,
until the break, but yeah, looking to be round two. So
Scotty boy, he's back. Yeah, because I want to. Do you know what's going to be interesting as well? Because it's almost like, and I can't figure out whether it's going to be good to be last or first. But going into that 4-week break, I think it's like November 11 to like December 11. There's no games or something like that.
Yeah, it's a good month.
So it's almost like a split season in a way. I mean, what's that? Have you guys thought about that yet? Has that been spoken about or not really?
Not really, man. You just go hard. Like no matter what, we're going to win every game. Like team wants to go undefeated. You know, you want to go into that break. I think even as players, you want to go into that break sitting on top, because then it's like, it'll be all right, we're doing well, let's go. I think if you win it in a shit position, it's going to be a long month in between. Like,
you can almost reset though.
Yeah, but that's what I was thinking. I was like, if I'm coming last, then I'd want a 4-week break, because then like fucking things can change.
It's like a little.
But then again, I mean, you don't want to be last, so it's the glass half full.
Even if you're winning, then you want to keep playing because you're on a roll.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, then it breaks momentum. Yeah, a bit. That's the only thing.
I think like the way our club's set up, man, like that won't be an issue. Like it'll be like another mini preseason in between. You'll get some time off, and then get ready to roll, and then it'll be like, I think our first game back Sydney away, so it's like a tough one. It'll be like, you know, we're jumping straight into it again.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the Melbourne derbies, because you've been on both sides of the fence, and obviously Tills, you've experienced it now. For those like me who don't play in it, or for those that what is that sort of the pinnacle of the sort of atmosphere in games that you guys would experience across the A-League anyway, that is?
Yeah, I think I take out finals aside.
Yeah,
like the derbies, the derby with victory is the big one.
Yeah,
you know, it's got the history behind it as well. and you want to be the main team.
Yeah.
Like you want to be the main team in the country. City was always like looked at like, the younger one coming through and that. And then now, the last couple of years, like winning titles, winning premiers, making finals, winning the derbies, pretty good as well. It's you shook the cage a bit, and Victory had their like couple off seasons. It's good to see them looking good again. It's just good for football in general.
I think for the A-League, Melbourne City and Melbourne Victory have to do well.
You want to see it, and just even the way the fans get into each other, like it's what you want, man. Like you look every league in the world, man. They've got the derbies. Like,
Correct.
That's what you want.
Yeah, it's the best, man. I love it. It's like genuinely like affects people's livelihood if you win or lose on those games, particularly because of like the rivalry in the city.
You're waiting to the next game. Like that's it. Like you got bragging rights. Yeah, you take it over them. So.
Absolutely. Now, when you come into the league so young, because you both done this, like I still can't believe Scott. I can't believe you played 10 years, bro. Bro, you look like
made me feel old.
You look like the same as you did when you came in. You got like a skincare routine or something?
Just a bit better looking, man.
Listen to him, bro. We're gonna drop Scotty's skincare routine and like well-being routine. It'll be long in the
man. I hated it at the start, looking so young, but then now I'm enjoying it because when you see boys like starting getting older and grey hairs and that, I'm buzzing with this, man. Like.
A couple greys.
Huh? I was calling you out on grades today. Don't you worry about that.
Grey, surely at 21.
Need a haircut.
Copper deficient or whatever it is, man.
Yeah, there's no hairdressers in camp, huh?
Nah. I think we could have got access, but didn't.
Yeah, stressing, man. He's stressing for a haircut.
When you when you came into like the pro league so young, like what was sort of the initial feelings and reaction? Because for you, Tills, I think your debut was in the Champions League, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you, Scotty, came into like arguably one of the best changing rooms as well in the league, like Victory at the time.
And Victory, Ange as the coach, like it was
scary good team on paper.
Unbelievable setup. And like I was fresh out of AIS. I was only at the club 2 weeks and I got my first start. Like I think my first game that I got to watch was, I think the Big Blue was my first game. I was in the stands watching it, and I was like first time experiencing A-League other than when I was like a kid watching Perth Glory play back home.
Yeah. I
was like, man, this is unbelievable. And then the fullback, Diogo Ferreira, was playing. He got suspended in that game. And then I was like, oh, shit, the Derby's next week at Marvel. And my old man texts me and he's just like, we just like heard your name on TV. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, commentators are saying, oh, you might get the call up.
Whoa.
And I was in my head, I'm going, nah, no chance, man. Like it's.
Is this start of the season as well? Like,
nah, I came in the January window.
I was going to say, I thought you came halfway through the year.
I came in the January window, and then they were like, yeah, you might get a start. And then straight away after the game, like Ange pulled me, Kevin Musker was the assistant, pulled me. They're like, you're playing next week. And he was just like, I don't care. I don't care if he's young, whatever. Throw him in the deep end. He's sink or swim.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, man, like I've never been so scared going into a game in my life. Archie Thompson did not help me one bit going into it.
What did he say?
Man, I was preparing for the game. I was like, I had a good warm up. I'm good to go. And he came over to me and he just goes, big game, 40,000 people. Don't fuck up. And I was just like,
Archie,
cheers, man. Like, appreciate the confidence. Yeah.
He's usually the biggest lad ever. Well, he probably would have been doing that to amuse himself, though.
Oh, yeah,
he wouldn't have been doing it.
Because he went on and had a killer game. But he was just like doing like, because he was the banter of the change room. Like, and he's always been like that. But and then literally my first two touches, I'm like, I'll just calm, I'll get it on the ball. Adrian Lay was playing next to me, fired the first one at my throat. I lost it. I think David Williams took it off me and went down. And then next one, he's like, my bad. Like, I'll give you a better pass next. Fired the next one at my throat again. Yeah. I was like, man, you're stitching me up here.
Oh, no. Help the young kid out. Do you remember your debut?
Yeah, it was in that dead rubber against, it was in the Champions League back at home in Sydney. I don't know who it was against. I forgot now. Oh, yeah, it was a dead
He's
rubber
gone on to do so much at 21. He's got his debut already.
Debut means nothing to him
out,
now.
man. You're getting too big for the little guys, man.
No chance. No chance. But yeah, we played, I think I got maybe 20 minutes in that game. It was the back end of the season, I think, and then that was it. Made my debut then, and I didn't see the field again for the first team.
You scored on your league debut, huh?
Yeah, I think that was the following year.
For Sydney?
For Sydney.
Yeah, so what was the reason you left Sydney to come City? Was it opportunity and stuff, or what was the driver for that?
Yeah, so I was at Sydney for...
Yeah, come on. Cha-ching, right? I think he coughed money.
You're kidding. No, like I was at the club for 5 years, so they built me from a little kid. And then I was breaking into the first team. I was training there full time for 2 years.
Sydney was like peak Sydney too, no?
Yeah,
Like Sydney were a pretty, like this is before your sort of the city period. They were elite, man.
Yeah, like I was even lucky enough to train a couple of times in the Champions League when I was 16 at Sydney, and like then was Broski, Carney, Kolosko, like that team, and they were Arnie was the coach back then, and then I continued, and Steve got the job once Arnie left, and I went to the first team for the first time that year. I don't remember the year, but I didn't play much. I didn't play at all, sorry, but I was just training a little bit. Then the year after that, I got more of an opportunity. I was training full time with the first team, and then I did get the same year my opportunities to play, but not much. And I think for me, just sort of an outside. Obviously, Melbourne City come and approach me, and I just thought some fresh air and just something new, and go and test myself a little bit because I knew I could play a different environment.
It was a smart move, man. Look what's happened since. But killing it, actually, exactly. But did you play with Ninkovic?
Yes.
Man, do you know, isn't it funny? There's like a myth around the A-League because a lot of people talk about the imports, like obviously Del Piero and all these guys, but like internally in the A-League, the two that always come up like with genuine respect is Diego Castro and Ninkovic as like two of the best imports that have come in, obviously longevity. They didn't come with massive names, but they like were some of the best players we ever had. Was he as good as what everyone says he is?
Yeah, unbelievable.
Really? Why though? Like what was he so good at?
Just it's the same. Like you play a ball at his knee, he's guaranteed to take a good first touch, and you always trust him. He's one of those players you could always trust. And when he was obviously a bit younger, when I was back at Sydney, and his quality in training was a joke. Like he was next level. He was always a level above everyone. Like he played for, I'm pretty sure, Serbia and stuff like that.
He was a top player, man.
But yeah, he was unbelievable.
Scotty, who do you in your position, because you kind of cop the brunt of like some of the best players in the league running at you all the time, and you kind of like, this is the thing with the right and left back position. I know people give it a lot of stick as like failed centre back or failed midfielder, but like you play against people like Marco every week. Do you know what I mean?
That's fun.
Yeah, and training as well, right? Yeah. You're training against Lex.
Yeah, dude, try to get this guy running at you 1v1, man. It's impossible.
Yeah. So can you give me a bit of insight on like your mindset coming into games? Because you've always been like you're always kind of like, you're not, I don't know now if you're always kind of a quiet guy, but I always thought like when it came to game day, you could tell like you had a switch that like you switched on, and
yeah, you just got to know your own, man. But like, it's one of those things I think it's fullbacks, like modern games, very different now. Like you're attacking, you're defending, but then you always seem to be coming up against like generally the marquee of a team. Like, you know, you play on Ninkovic, like I've played on him multiple times, and like, man, this guy's that hard to play against. You played on Castro, like other ones that come into the league, like they're all ballers. Wingers are all ballers, and clubs always look for a good winger that's going to entertain and be good.
Correct.
And then you're the fullback who's got to try and stop him, man. Like I'm glad this guy's on our team. I don't want to play against him. I'd have him at the knee, but
yeah, I bet he would too. He's got it in him. Now you're like a bit of a Lairising fullback, man, getting forward, scoring goals, overtaking people. I'm like,
yeah. That's what I've always loved to do though. Like I'm fit. Like I love to run, just get up and down, and then you know with confidence comes all that other stuff. So
yeah. Well, I want to ask you, outside of the like home games for you guys, where's your favourite ground to play at? Like in Australia, where's like the one you enjoy the most?
I love going back home to Sydney now.
So is that Allianz? Do they still call it that?
Allianz this year will be at Allianz, but it was at Jubilee and Leichhardt Oval.
Okay.
But yeah, I just generally just versus Sydney FC. That was like one of my favourite games, but not the stadium.
Not the stadium. Just
the club.
Hatred for the old club.
He goes back and he has fucking 100 people rock up a Tilio shirts to watch the game.
Really?
Like,
what part of Sydney were you from?
Inner West.
Oh, okay,
so
right.
Inner West Sydney, but yeah, so. Yeah, I love the Sydney FC just for the fact of they were my old club.
Go home.
No, like hatred.
Yeah, just an exciting game
just
for you.
Exciting, see old teammates, stuff like that. So it's cool.
Yeah. What about you, Scotty? You're veteran now. You probably played.
I played for half the league, man.
In this country.
Half of them been my home team.
Yeah.
Nah, probably like all right. You're going outside Melbourne because obviously it's good playing.
Yeah, well, you're going to say
but
Amy Park's a good ground, so you know that.
Adelaide, man.
Adelaide,
I always,
Coopers, yeah.
Like I love my time at Adelaide when I was there.
Yeah,
I had an unbelievable time, great year.
Good city.
And then obviously going back, cop a shit ton of stick,
oh man,
they were
they're vicious.
They were vicious when I left. Like, and then I still remember once I left, we played them in the cup final there in Adelaide. I think we got smacked like 4-0 or 4-1 or something. And I just stood on the field and the whole stadium was chanting, like, "Are you watching?" as they lifted the title. And I was like, "Oh man, that's just like
cheeky.
That's just putting wood on the fire." That, like. But I still got a good relationship with like some of the fans and that there. you know, like I still keep in contact with him. You know, Redwig Steve, who's there.
Yeah.
Still see him. Even in the semi-final last year, because I was warming up on the side. I was just coming back from injury for it, and I was copping it, and we warmed up in front of their bench, like their fans at Amy Park.
Beautiful.
And I was getting a blasting, man, like absolute blasting. And obviously, when they score,
At
they
least you know
celebrated
you're good then, because if you weren't, you wouldn't be copping one.
Yeah.
So
I sort of look at it as like that. One's like the more it hurt them, the more you're going to get, sort of thing.
Correct.
Like if they didn't care, it's like see you later, like take off. But yeah,
with that, we mentioned the team on paper. Obviously, you guys, I think, arguably the best in the league. I think it's going to be a really competitive league this season, by the way, as well, because Victory's bolstered.
100%.
Western are back without. Sydney sort of never drop off. Although Brisbane had a bit of a shaky preseason, I think with the impact of Austin and, I mean, naturally Perth and Wellington are always tough games with travel and so forth.
Yeah.
So
and the fact they actually get to play at home now as well.
yeah,
like
correct, right? So I mean, going to Wellington was like I think I spoke to Jura ages ago. It was like they knew they were going to win games, like back when they had that squad. Because
it's a mission to go there. Like it's, you know, international flight for a change, like for something different. And you know,
did you play there?
Yeah.
What was it? Yeah, well, so tell me about that. What was it? Yeah, played everywhere. More clubs than Jack Nicklaus. Just go, brother. Where haven't you played?
Oh man,
Where have you played? CCM?
Victory, Central Coast, then went to Wellington, Adelaide, City. So it's been a few, yeah.
Resume.
Yeah, why don't you? You should have more wrinkles, bro. Like
Experience, man. Experience. That's what I say. But
yeah, just go because I want to talk about like who you guys find it sometimes the hardest to match up to. Like not necessarily the hardest, but who do you find that gives you guys the best games? Obviously, naturally, derbies, there's always that fire, but like I'm just talking stylistically. And
for me, man, I think Adelaide's always been a tough game for us. Like it's
really,
yeah, and especially going away to Adelaide, it's a tough place to go. The crowd's on top of you. They pull a good crowd. They're an aggressive crowd as well. Like, man, I still remember that was my second game when I first started playing, and I'd never copped abuse before. I was like a kid growing up, like playing. And then some of the shit that I heard there, like, it was just next level. And I was like, wow, this is like, you know, professional football. You just got to cop it, man. Like, if it gets under your skin, they'll keep riding with it,
and they'll smash it.
If you just give them like a wave and a smile back, and you know, especially if you win, and you just give a little stick back. But fans love that stuff, man. Like, a bit of back and forward. You
in Australia, they do definitely.
You see it with Jamo on our team. He gives it to people all the time.
Oh yeah. Before I want to ask about Jamo, but Tills, for you, who do you sort of see like? Is this similar to Scotty, or do you have another sort of team that you find like formation, tactics, like it's always hard to break down?
It's ever since I moved to City. I think Adelaide, it's just a team.
Really?
It's just like, I don't know if it's a curse.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
There you go.
Other than that,
you
really.
Yeah, comfortable. I like that answer. Speaking of Jamo, now I love Jamo because I don't know what it was, man. I'm the nice guy off the field, but when I went on the field, I just started talking shit and like, I don't know.
I remember.
Yeah, it was a shocker, bro. I don't know what it was. I still did, man. In the NPL, I caught myself like doing some weird shit. Some guy took a shot. It was like, good shot, but went straight to the keeper. And I ran past him like, "Is that your good foot?" And I ran off. Like, what the fuck am I doing that for? Like, just fucking focus on the game, like stupid shit like that. But Jamo's the king of it.
Yeah.
And people that don't know Jamo, like they genuinely despise him because of like he's so competitive and like he's a guy you obviously want on your team but hate to play against. And then you meet him, he's like an absolute lad. But what's it like playing with him? Because obviously he's the captain. You see he's like getting into like those verbal competitions every game as well, not only just with the ball.
Yeah.
How does that sort of affect the team? Is it fun to be playing with him like when he's like that?
He just looks like the drive man. He's like the PK sort of on the field. Like he wants to drive everyone, make everyone accountable for everything. I think he just loves that as well himself, man. And he just loves getting under people's skin because, you know, you get under their skin and you're on top of them on the ball as well. But I don't know. It's different for me. I'm playing like alongside him. A bit different for him playing in front of him, and he's
if he
don't track his runner, he cops an
because I can tell you, we'd be letting you know if you went tracking back and shit.
Yeah,
knowing him,
you can hear it. The whole
and
stadium.
knowing Tills might be just delaying, hoping that the ball's won, so he's in space, like every good left winger.
Nah, you can sure hear him.
Yeah,
the whole stadium could hear him, but nah. He's good. Like that's why he wears the captain's armband. Like he's a leader for our team, and like I think once like I've lost him a couple games with injury or something like a suspension, maybe he just lose that verbal on the field. Like without him, our team, it's not really many people that will talk the way he does.
Yeah.
And
you feel the hole. Like it's a big hole missing when he's not playing.
Really, it's
massive, and people like. As you said before, like people can hate him from the outside, but he's unbelievable for having your team.
Yeah, I'd love to play with him.
Yeah.
I'd start chirping up too, man. Like, what'd you say?
But he's good. Like I love playing in front of him. Like sometimes it can get a bit much when he's screaming at you, but overall, like he helps you. Like he's absolute, like he's like a coach.
It would be remiss of us to not talk about my good friend Jay McLaren as well. I think he was second top goal scorer in the A-League. Is he?
Yeah, he's not far behind.
He's not far behind Besh, but I think Besh is
far.
still in front, right? But just give me like a bit of, because Jamie's like, for me, even though I've known him since I was 12 years old, and when I was still talking about football, it was like so serious. Like he's just like, he's so competitive. He's just like one way, you know, like it's just the way he is. Like, he can still have a joke and a laugh, but he's just always been like that. What's it like sort of playing with him, training with him behind doors, and obviously knowing that you're going to get goals from him, like having that confidence coming into games?
What it is, man, it's just the confidence. Like, you just got to put the ball in the box and he's going to be there to pop up and finish it. Like, he doesn't take many chances to put a finish away. He's sharp on it when he does. Like, man, some of the goals I've seen him score, a little flick of the head and that, I'm like, man, you just don't really see many strikers doing this. Like, he's and he's just hungry for goals. Like,
he frustrates me because I was never good at not playing well and scoring a goal.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is why he's so dangerous, because he might not have the best game, but if you win 1-0, it's probably coming from him.
Yeah, he'll show up.
Yeah, he'll show up. And if he plays well, he can still score. So it's like, you'd never know. Like, as a defender, you can never switch off.
Nah, so that's the most dangerous thing about him, man. Like, you give him one chance, he can score it. Like, he could do nothing all game, pops up with a winner. Like, and that's the beauty of a striker. Like, if you have someone like that in your team, you just got to keep feeding him. Like, it's going to come.
Yeah. Absolutely. Now, we're going to go to a bit of a fun section to round this out, and I'm going to emphasise quick fire here, because sometimes we've done this and people think too long. So instinctively, we're going to go five questions each, and you guys obviously answer them with what you think, right? It's pretty straightforward stuff. We do this a few times on the podcast, but let's go.
Me?
Yeah, we'll go Scott.
You want to think about your question?
No, it's seniority first, right? Let's go. All right. Hardest individual opponent.
Oh, man. Yeah, actually, that's...
You played against a lot, but just who jumps to mind?
Are we going A-League or are we going worldwide?
Well, up to you.
Memphis Depay.
Fuck yeah. Naturally.
Absolute rip me a new one, man. My first ever international.
Really?
This guy's doing slaps over my head and everything. I was looking up at the sky.
But is he as athletically strong as what people kind of say and how he looks? Is he just a beast? Because you're a beast, right? So if you're playing someone against a beast, then
he was a bully, man. This guy.
Really?
Yeah.
What about you, Tills? Who's the hardest for you? Hardest individual opponent? Like a fullback or a defender you would have gone up against? A-League or international?
What's his name? Forgot his name. Chuchurel.
Chuchurel, the Chelsea defender.
Yeah. I was him at Olympics.
Oh, really?
Yeah, competing against Spain.
Fuck, now he's on $60 million deal as a fullback to Chelsea.
I didn't know who he was.
Was he playing for Brighton then?
I thought it was like Puyol.
Yeah, he does. He got Puyol vibes, major Puyol vibes.
I don't know who that was. And then he signed at Brighton like just after the Olympics, and now he's at Chelsea. And I support Chelsea. I'm like, wow.
Wow. Okay. Now this one's a bit different. You've kind of said against, so we'll go here. Best player you've played with or against, but we'll go maybe with, because you both said against there.
Go with. Oh, again, tough one, but I think Mathieu Delpierre at Victory.
Really?
Man, that guy.
He's unsung heroes. He's one of those like Castro, and he just didn't play here long enough to get the reputation.
I played with some unbelievable, even like you're talking about like players on the pedigree of Ninkovic and that, Guy Finkler. Like,
yeah,
man,
underrated
that guy,
as fuck, man.
Guy's that good, but I think as a defender, because this guy helped me a lot, taught me a lot. Mathieu Delpierre, man, like he's won the Bundesliga with Stuttgart, like he's a king going around.
It's a Rolls Royce, man.
I don't think actually I've seen a player get past him the whole time he was in the league.
Yeah, that's what everyone says.
He's actually just that good.
It's like Van Dijk, bro, back then. But he was like 36 or 35. He's just smoking cigars at the back, just like cruising.
This guy was on cruise control, and he was still that good. Like it just shows the pedigree of player he was. Like,
what about you, Tills? Obviously,
I'd have to say
Ninkovic.
Or Florent Berenguer in our team.
Yeah, is he a bit unsung of a hero as well? Because he's been. How long's he been here for? He's been here for a little while now, no?
It'll be 5 years now.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. Maybe internally he gets a credit. I don't know if externally he gets enough credit for like his quality in the team, because obviously you've got the front sort of three.
I think he's like his last 2 years, he's really stepped it up, man. He's like he's a baller, like.
You see him every day in training, so like...
Yeah, you appreciate it. Wow. Well, this might answer that question. I mean, you can't say yourselves here, but best trainer at City?
I think I'm going to say Jamo.
Really?
Just in terms of like...
Professionalism and
stuff. He's never given less than 110% every session.
Right.
Like he's just demanding, grueling, whining sometimes.
I can imagine being
but like, that guy just doesn't quit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'll say J-Mac.
J-Mac? Yeah, see, I could see J-Mac like really buzzing about at training and like shooting
always,
for hours and shit. Like,
So happy, like just looks like he's so happy to be there all the time. You know what I mean? Like just everything, extras, all these kind of things. He's the first person.
wow, there you go.
He's good.
All right, now this one should be a bit of an easy one. Favorite holiday destination? Scotty loves a holiday.
Yeah.
Been traveling Europe for
man,
fun.
I was
Money man.
Yeah. I know I was going to come in wearing some heavy drips, man. I'm like, I know what Scotty's like, but
Oh man, I just got back from Europe in the off season, so I said Paris.
Paris
was a joke. Like that was
never been Paris.
I
Gotta go.
I had the best time there.
What about you, Tills?
I'd just say the odd Maldives. I've just seen photos of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Haven't been.
I don't know.
You'll be
Say
there.
where we've been.
No. We'll just
yeah,
wait.
say
Wait.
Maldives.
I think you're going to say Coogee Pav or something like that.
One place to find him.
Yeah.
All right, now this one's a bit of a serious one. This is a theme that we're building on the podcast because I think I always tie these three to, I mean, anyone in life that wants to be successful, I think these three traits are important. But from an athlete, I just want to see which one of these three sort of you associate with your successes. So, and tell me why. So if you could choose one out of drive, resilience, or ambition, that's helped you to get to where you are, which one sort of hits home the most?
Man, I'm stuck between drive and resilience, like, because I've had some shit times in football.
Yeah.
But probably just drive, man, just continuing to work, continuing to grind. It's the only way to correct any wrongs or anything. You know, if you give up, that's it. Like, you know, you're caving in.
Yeah, beauty. What about you?
The resilience.
Resilience?
Sure. Ever since I was a kid, it's always getting knocked back because I'm a small person. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
but
stature.
Has that ever been like a marker over you, like coming
When
through?
I was younger, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Like not making teams because generally my height. So yeah, I had to get over that hurdle when I was young. So having to do that and coming through the Sydney FC Academy like that, I was more than fortunate enough to be a part of that academy. You know what I mean? So yeah, I've had some ups and downs, and everyone only sees like the highs. No one really sees the lows, and I think to have resilience is massive. So
Absolutely. Well, boys, man, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show. Tills, you obviously good luck for the start of the season and obviously the World Cup hopes, man. Hope to see you in Qatar. And Scotty, look forward to seeing you score some left foot bangers early on, mate, when you're back. And
Hopefully, man,
yeah, it'll be exciting, man. I mean, as I said, it's going to be one of the biggest A-leagues from a competitive standpoint. Like so many teams are well spread this year. So looking forward to see how the City boys go. And yeah, thank you again for coming on, boys.
Appreciate it, man.
Legends.
yeah.